Hello and welcome to this September 19th edition of Come On. Fridays are awesome. You wanted to hear it, I wanted to say it. It's good to have you watching CNN Student News. First up, Scotland, home to more than 5 million people, about the size of South Carolina. Scots have contributed world-changing inventions related to bicycle tires, penicillin, television. Yesterday, they decided on a potentially nation-altering question. Should Scotland be an independent country? The polls were closed when we produced this show. The vote was over, but it was expected to be very close, and we don't have results for you yet. For the latest, teachers, please visit CNN.com. We do have an excellent fact-filled look at how Scotland came to be the division of the United Kingdom that it has been for the past 307 years.
What we know as modern Scotland was formed in the 13th century, when England and Scotland signed the Treaty of York, mapping out Scotland's southern border. 60 years later, the countries were at war, with the legendary Scottish rebel William Wallace helping to lead the charge. Wallace's fight for freedom was the subject of Hollywood blockbuster Braveheart. Years of war paid off for Scotland. In 1328, England recognised Scottish independence in the Treaty of Northampton. In 1603, Queen Elizabeth, the last of the Tudors, died at the age of 69, and that cleared the way for King James VI of Scotland, son of Mary Queen of Scots, to become England's king too. It was known as the Union of the Crowns. Just over 100 years later, Parliaments of England and Scotland passed the Acts of Union. It joined the two separate states into one, the Kingdom of Great Britain, one Parliament, one monarch.
Australia used to be part of the United Kingdom, and like the UK, it's an ally of the US in fighting the ISIS terrorist group. Yesterday, Australia's government said it had prevented a terrorist plot on Australian soil. 2 men were arrested and charged Thursday. Australian officials say they'd planned to kill a member of the public, a civilian, just like ISIS has killed some of its innocent victims in Iraq and Syria. Australia's Sydney Morning Herald says dozens of Australians are fighting overseas on the side of terrorist groups, and that more than 20 of them had returned to Australia afterward. For that reason, plus the fact that Australia's military is helping in the fight against ISIS, the Australian government raised its terror alert level to high last week. That's its second highest level. Meantime, some American lawmakers are giving President Obama the go-ahead for part of his plan to fight ISIS. Earlier this week, the House of Representatives voted 273 to 156 to authorize training and weapons for rebels in Syria. The Senate was expected to approve this as well. Syria is in the middle of a civil war. ISIS terrorists have taken over some Syrian land. The rebels that the U.S. supports are fighting both Syria's government and the ISIS terrorists. So the American plan is to help these rebels defeat both. Some lawmakers don't support arming the rebels. They say in war-torn Syria, it's not always clear who the rebels are and who the extremists are, and that the strategy of arming rebels has sometimes failed in the past. We're starting out west today on the CNN Student News Roll Call. In West Haven, Utah, can you bear the Grizzlies? They're all over Rocky Mountain Junior High School. One state northeast, we've got Wyoming on the roll. Kelly Walsh High School in Casper, home of the Trojans. And in Thief River Falls, Minnesota, the Prowlers are on the prowl. They're stalking CNN Student News from Lincoln High School. It looks like Sarah Saldana is about to make history. She's the president's nominee to lead the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. She'd be the first Latina ever to hold the job if she gets it. We say if because President Obama doesn't have the final say. The Constitution says he has to seek the advice and consent of the Senate. As part of that, the Senate held a confirmation hearing this week to interview Saldana. Because it went smoothly, analysts expect she'll get the job. One responsibility of the ICE agency is to decide which illegal immigrants get to stay in the U.S. and which are deported.
Decades ago, the word immigration conjured up images of boats at Ellis Island, of course, the Statue of Liberty. Today, it's a different story. The issue's more heated, more politicized, more complicated. Immigrants are now entering the U.S. from every corner. Miami to Seattle, LA to New York, and especially along the Mexican border. We're talking more than 40 million immigrants in the United States right now, both legally and illegally. That's roughly 13% of our population, making America the #1 destination on Earth for immigrants. So, Who are these new arrivals? Well, about a quarter, or 11 million, are undocumented, a number that's increased almost year by year since 2000. Of those who become legal residents, you'd probably guess a lot of them are from Mexico. You'd be right, 14%. But you might be surprised to find out the next two leading countries of birth for new U.S. residents, China and India. Those are the two most populated countries on the planet. As for work, the latest labor stats show, by and large, immigrant workers are in the service industry. We're talking hotels, restaurants, gas stations, and they're making a lot less than U.S.-born workers, about $160 less per week. So regardless of how you feel about the issue, there's no doubt immigrants are here to stay, and they play a huge role in the American economy every day.
Beyond all of the benefits of listening to music or creating it, it's been shown to help heal certain brain injuries and decrease anxiety. Today's character study is about a musician who believes music is medicine for the mind. His work has helped hundreds of wounded warriors.
Music is my earliest memory. I never decided to be a professional musician. It's just what I've always done. It feels great to play music, but it's also a mechanism for healing.
We were on just a normal morning patrol, walking down a road. I'd never been hit by an IED before. It felt like I got hit by a wrecking ball. I sat up, my legs were completely gone. What happens if you don't quite get killed, and you don't quite survive? You're somewhere in the middle. I was a shell of a man. Who I was gone.
So let's take it right before the melody comes in. Our organization helps wounded warriors play music and recover their lives. We match the injured troops with professional musicians who come visit at Walter Reed Medical Center and work with them on music projects, learning music, writing, and performing. We're going to try to incorporate a little more metal. I'm not a music therapist, I'm a musician, but by injecting music into this space, we could inject life.
Something survived that horrible injury in Afghanistan, and that was my ability to play the guitar. Arthur and his program changed my outlook on what is possible.
Music has no stigma. The folks we work with, when they do music, there's nothing injured about the way they do it. It's just good music.
Members of the Minnesota National Guard's 114th Transportation Company just returned from Afghanistan. There's some ceremony and procedure to this. The troops stand in formation for a few moments, but a toddler just didn't care. And that didn't seem to bother anyone else either. After his mother's 9-month deployment, the boy decided he'd waited long enough. Not long afterward, everyone else got the chance to reunite with their loved ones. The Happy Homecoming brings together this Friday edition of CNN Student News. We hope to reunite with you next week, and if you're in the military or you have a parent or a relative who is, thank you for your service. Have a great weekend, everyone.